Today we are in Edinburgh. Thanks for joining us as we kick off our Scottish adventure. And right behind me here is where we are staying. It is the Fingal Hotel. And yes, it is a ship. We just checked in. We were able to get into our room early. It is absolutely incredible, very luxurious. Looking forward to staying here tonight. We have a lot of exploring that we want to do today, and our very first stop is going to be Edinburgh Castle. We are catching our first glimpses of Edinburgh Castle. We are now inside the castle. We've breached the castle walls. And we're gonna head up.
It is now under attack by us.
Yeah. Really frightening stuff.
Evie.
Yeah, the little baby. But we are walking up. We're gonna go find the Stone of Destiny and the crown jewels.
Well, the view up top here of Edinburgh Castle, of Edinburgh, is not to be missed. I mean, the way the city just lays out underneath it, it's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. Well, what does it look like? It's a pretty big cannonball.
We're in St. Margaret's Chapel.
We're gonna go in and see the crown jewels. When we were at the Tower of London in London, I tried to film the crown jewels, not because I was making a vlog or anything, just because I wanted to film them because they were cool. And they tracked me down and made me delete it off my phone. So yeah, we're not gonna do that here, but the crown jewels are really, really cool to see in person. Let's just leave it at that.
Definitely getting some Harry Potter vibes from this great hall.
It's interesting to see which side they are on. All in all, we absolutely love this castle. It's a lot of fun exploring the medieval, and good way to start here in Scotland. Well, our first stop on our Edinburgh food crawl is Macker's Gourmet Mash, and one look at the menu, and we just said, this is where we gotta go. They have a ton of traditional Scottish dishes, a lot of braised meats covered in beautiful sauces, all topped on mashed potatoes. And if that's not a good way to start in this country, I don't know what is. Well, we put in our order and we're pretty excited for it to come out. Madeline is getting the honey glazed smoked gammon, which essentially is ham, and she's getting it over cheddar and chive mashed potatoes. Madeline absolutely loves cheese in her mashed potatoes, so I know she's gonna be excited about that one. I'm getting the slow roasted beef with a horseradish gravy on top of horseradish mashed potatoes. We haven't eaten since we got off the plane, and we're going to just devour this meal when it comes out.
This right here is the gammon. It is ham that has been smoked and cured, so it's a little more like bacon than it is like what you think of when you're like, oh, I'm getting a spiral honey ham. And then we have the Scottish cheddar and chive mash, and there's also a sweet chutney, so we're gonna get a little of that on here too.
Well, this dish right here looks absolutely incredible. This beef just sitting on top of this pile of mashed potatoes. Look at how easily that's just falling off there. Horseradish gravy, horseradish mashed potatoes. So in this dish, the horseradish shows up twice. It's in this gravy, and it's also in the mashed potatoes. So when you get that gravy on top of this mashed potato, that horseradish just sits on top of that beef just perfectly. Oh. That does not lack the flavor at all. Also, it smells amazing. I always say I wish you could smell. You should have 4D TV so you could smell the food. We're off to a good start here in Scotland. I'm gonna go in here on Madeline's gammon. I can't say I've actually ever had gammon before, but I'm looking forward to trying it. It's a really intense, it's ham that's kind of cooked like bacon. If that makes any sense. It's a very intense pork flavor. It's kind of like a dry, tastes like a dry aged steak, but like pork. Pretty good.
This is my kind of meal right here. Beef is tender, gravy's amazing, mash is amazing. It is summer here in Scotland, and this is like
Hitting the spot.
we're just hitting the spot. It is not the kind of meal that it's kind of like a pot roast. You wouldn't eat that in summer, but it is perfect on this 70-degree day.
Well, the food tour continues. This is actually a little bit of street food here in Edinburgh, and we have a hog roast roll from Point. We're on Victoria Street. They roast a whole hog every day, and this roll, there is sage and onion underneath there. You can also get haggis. We're gonna get haggis a little bit later. Pulled pork, and those are apples. I've never had that combination, but I'm looking forward to it. If you're not from the United States, we have a holiday called Thanksgiving. And this kind of tastes like Thanksgiving. If you had a little cranberry sauce to dip it in, it'd be like a Thanksgiving roll.
And it's pork.
It is pork, but the sage and onion, pork, turkey, I mean, they're not that different from each other.
All right. They roast the whole hog, and the hog's head was in the window. It's not always the most appetizing sight, but
I think it's pretty appetizing.
I have a feeling this is gonna be delicious. Okay, I understand the Thanksgiving comment. It is the sage.
Well, we are right here on Coburn Street, and right behind me, right there, in this area is where Vision and Wanda were walking in Infinity War, when Vision got stabbed. And then Wanda got thrown through a window. I think it was that window. But we always like to go find those fun Marvel areas wherever they film worldwide. As we were planning our trip to Scotland, I really wanted to try haggis for the first time. It's actually illegal in the United States because of some of the ingredients in it. And I was trying to find the perfect spot to do it, and I think I found it. It's called the Haggis Box. It actually started in 2018 in a blue, tiny police box. I think they also served ice cream out of it. They got so popular, they had to grow, and now they're located in the Scottish Storytelling Center. So haggis is what they call a pudding. Now I would call it kind of ground meat mixture, and the reason that it's legal, it actually has sheep heart, sheep lung, and sheep liver. And those are blended with oats, and that gives it its crumbly texture. And so we're just gonna go ahead right now. And as you can also see, this sauce on top of it, that is an Auchentoshan whiskey and mustard sauce. That's a whiskey distillery that's over in Glasgow. And it's a very traditional sauce that is, they top haggis with. It's also on top of neeps and tatties. Neeps are turnips, tatties are potatoes. And I was told by the very friendly staff here, which by the way, you gotta come here. They're so friendly, they're so nice. I have to get all of this combined. I have to get the neeps and tatties and the haggis in my first bite. So you can see the mashed potatoes there at the bottom. I'm actually kind of nervous. Forbidden food. It does have a nice flavor, as you can see. I'm going back for more. I really do like the mustard and whiskey sauce. That is very, very good. It's actually kind of mellow. And then the turnips, they're very good too. You get that bouncy, I don't know how to describe it without it not sounding unappetizing. You do get a fluffy, bouncy texture when you chew on the haggis, and that is from those ingredients I mentioned.
All right, I'm gonna try haggis for the first time ever. I am also a little nervous because this is a food that has been built up.
That's a legit bite.
This is a legit bite. We're just gonna do it. We're not gonna do it halfway. Like this, haggis is a food that I have heard about for many, many years, and we're finally trying it here at the Haggis Box. The Auchentoshan sauce is very, very good. And haggis is this thing that's like kind of hard to explain. It's almost like a ground, like it almost just looks like ground beef with like barley in it. Is that what you said?
Oats.
With oats in it. Wow, I'm surprised. I think I like it. I wasn't expecting that. I've had like 3 bites of it.
Only because of what it is.
I think if you didn't know what it was, like you didn't know it was sheep's intestines, you'd just be like, oh, that tastes good. It's the same way I feel about trying black pudding. I'm scared because I know it's made from blood, but I think when I try it, it's probably gonna taste pretty good. The thing is, like, about a dish like this is that it wouldn't be as popular as it is if it didn't taste good.
It's so good, it's illegal in the United States.
It's so good, it's illegal in the United States.
Haggis Box, thank you for our first ever haggis. I think it was a great introduction to the dish. I think the next time we're gonna try the vegetarian one because I want to see what that's like. But we put a nice dent into this haggis, and that whiskey mustard sauce, that's a winner. Well, we have a lot more fun planned in Edinburgh, especially food stops. Today we're exploring the Old Town area because everything you saw, we have been up for 24 hours. We're trying to keep it compact and we wanted to see some of the historic sites.
We have had an amazing day so far, but we're tired, so we're ready to take it easy and head back to the Fingal, where we're gonna have some afternoon tea, and we're also going to have dinner there tonight. We are here on the Fingal for afternoon tea, and our tea has just arrived. We went with the Fingal afternoon tea blend. We both did.
It's very hot.
It is hot. Ooh. Also, our first course has just arrived. It is carrot and coconut soup. I think I'm just gonna go like this.
Well, I absolutely love afternoon tea. It was one of the most favorite things we did when we visited London. And this tea is very good, but also, we don't do this in the United States, which is put milk in the tea. But I don't know, it just seems right over here, so cheers.
Well, our first tower has just arrived, and there are so many amazing goodies on here. This is a pancetta tart, and this is a salmon mousse on like a little Bellini pancake. I think I'm gonna go with that first because it looks so beautiful. I love little tiny like finger sandwiches and things. Oh, that's so good.
This is a leek and pancetta tart. Oops, that was not classy.
You made a mess.
I'm just really excited about this food. It's so good. It's very delicate. It's very savory and just... Well, here's another one of the appetizers that they have here with the afternoon tea. This is an arancini that's sitting on, it's a mint arancini, and it's sitting on top of some pea puree. And it's absolutely, there's peas in there as well. Look at that. I think maybe there's peas inside, and this is a mint sauce that's sitting on top. Peas and mint, totally underrated combination.
Our dessert tray has just come out, which is full of pretty much all the goodies we've been waiting for. We have scones down here on the bottom with clotted cream and a strawberry champagne jam?
There's a lot of ingredients.
Strawberry champagne jam. That's what I'm going with. We have a dulce de leche chocolate tart. We have passion fruit macaron. We have a panna cotta here. I think I'm gonna go with the chocolate mousse first. This is just as delicious as it sounds and as it looks. Very rich. And we're just getting started. They're so good.
Well, I'm going first for the scones. Some people say scones. Apparently it's regional. Our region says scones. And we've got mascarpone.
Clotted cream.
Clotted cream. We got clotted cream. We're just gonna go like that. And then strawberry champagne jam or something like that.
Or raspberry.
Or raspberry. A lot of different flavors thrown into this. One of the things I love about afternoon tea is that it's kind of like one of those Valentine's Day heart boxes. You just kind of pick and choose your food.
This is a passion fruit macaron. It honestly might be my favorite thing that was on the tray. The rooms here are absolutely beautiful. Since the Fingal service lighthouses, each room is named after a different lighthouse that the Fingal would travel to. Windows.
Well, we have just settled in for dinner here at the Lighthouse Bar and Restaurant on the Fingal. It's amazing to dine here on this ship. It's actually a beautiful dining room. You're looking out at the ocean and just such a great setting here in Scotland. We've got some great food coming out. To start, Madalyn's getting the ham appetizer. I'm getting the langoustine appetizer. That's a really important crustacean here. It's a little bit smaller than a lobster, but bigger than a shrimp. But shrimp or prawn, lobsters are crustaceans, and langoustines are crustaceans. So they're more closely related to lobsters. So we're looking forward to that coming out. I've had those in the United States, but I haven't had them here in Europe. And then for dinner, Madalyn's getting a chicken with some local mushrooms and some white wine sauce. That looks really good. And I am getting dumplings. I don't really know what they're going to be like, and I'm excited for this dish because I like ordering things that I've had dumplings, like chicken and dumplings at Cracker Barrel, but I don't exactly know what I'm getting on this dish, and I'm looking forward to it coming out.
Our starters just came out. They look amazing. The presentation is absolutely beautiful. And this is the ham terrine. So I'm just going to go on in. Ooh. And it has a little herb salad with it. I'm just going to go for the ham on its own. Oh, it's very, very good. Oh, the ham is absolutely delicious. There's a little salad here. Oh, that's good. It's a little sweet and a little sour. Let's try it all together with the ham. Sweet and savory. It's really good. All just mixed together. It's a good grate, and ham is like a great smoky flavor. We're off to a great start here.
Here is my langoustines dish. It is absolutely beautiful and one of the most beautiful plates of food I've ever seen. These langoustines are sitting on a cauliflower puree and a chorizo jam. And so we're just going to not even wait. We're just gonna go right in. All the flavors on this plate here in one bite. That was so decadent. This is great flavor, and I'm sad there's only 4, because I could eat this whole entire thing full of these. They're that good. I'm gonna have to share and let Madalyn have one. Well, I've been savoring this, and I've been waiting for this last one. Like I said, I wish there were 20 of these on this plate. That's how good they were. I licked this plate clean. It was so good. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't actually lick it. The bread licked the plate.
We're in public.
And then I ate the bread.
So our main courses just came out. 2 more absolutely gorgeous plates. And here we have my chicken. It's in a white wine sauce. It also has these little croquettes with it, green beans, and then these beautiful mushrooms. Let's dig in. Chicken is so moist. The sauce, it's just like a delicious gravy. Let's go with some green beans here. The mushrooms kind of give it this earthy flavor. Everything's perfectly cooked, perfectly seasoned. Let's cut into this croquette here. There's chicken inside of this as well.
My dumpling dish here looks absolutely beautiful. I keep saying it's one of the most beautiful plates of food I ever had. But the plating here is very, very impressive. And we're just gonna go pull this dumpling out, fresh vegetables on top, and just look at it. Just absolutely stuffed with flavor. We're gonna go a little bit of that on there. Like Madalyn, we're gonna get a little bit of this fresh vegetables. I rarely go meatless on a dish, but this one, I'm glad I did. I feel like this dish fits this area really well. It's not a very hot area. It's in July. We're still wearing coats. Yeah, last week was like their hottest day ever. I think it was like 89. And this is stick to your bones. Down home. Comfort food. Just incredible.
We are finishing up here this morning in Edinburgh. We're gonna have our first full Scottish breakfast here on the Fingal before we head out of the city to the Isle of Skye. We are heading out of the city and making several stops as we head out to the Isle of Skye. A lot of driving today, but it's a lot of stops that we're really looking forward to as we've been planning this trip. This is Castle Day, and we're excited to get out in the Scottish countryside. We've loved Edinburgh so far, but we're looking forward to continuing exploring. So we are on our own, road tripping out into the Scottish countryside. We are on the opposite side of the car, on the opposite side of the street. For us. So not what we are used to, but we did get an automatic car because having to think about driving manual and then on the other side of the car, on the other side of the street, is just a little bit too much. So we did opt for the automatic vehicle. Usually you'll pay a good amount extra for that, but for us, and the peace of mind of removing that one little obstacle is I don't know if we could do it otherwise. Last time we came to England, we tried it and we were very unsuccessful. We didn't even leave the parking lot. So then we went inside and opted for the automatic. Well, as we're driving along here, we're really starting to get the Scottish Highlands experience. We're driving over beautiful lochs. We have mountains covered with green trees. The grass is very green. It's really the experience that we were hoping for, and really what we came to Scotland for were views just like we're getting already, and we're only just getting started. We've been driving in and out of some rain. They kind of like there'll just be these bursts out of nowhere. It's cloudy, but then we'll be in some sunshine as well. So our hope is that it stays, it's sunny right now. Our hope is that it stays sunny when we get over to the castle, but it has been changing quickly. We've been in and out of sunshine and rain pretty much the whole drive since we left Edinburgh. Like I said earlier, we're just getting started on our drive, but we've been really enjoying it so far.
We just pulled over on the side of the road. We're getting our first glimpses of Loch Ness, and it is quite beautiful. We've got this nice, partly cloudy, but partly sunny day, and right now the sun is peeking through, and this is making the journey worth it so far.
We have just made it to Urquhart Castle. We are about to head in to get a look at the castle up close and to get a better look at Loch Ness. Standing in the middle of a castle and looking out on Loch Ness, it is definitely an incredible feeling. It's the kind of thing you just, you dream about, you plan. When you finally get to do it, it's just incredible.
Well, we're exploring the castle, and the setting here is just absolutely unreal. And one of the things that's interesting to me is I've been told multiple times since I've been in Scotland, you'll experience all 4 seasons in one day. And we're here in July. It feels like October where we're from. And I just think about these stones and all the weather they've endured over all of these years. It's pretty incredible. Scottish flag, flying proud.
I'm sure you won't hear any of this because of the wind, but standing up top on Urquhart Castle, looking out over Loch Ness is just an absolutely incredible view. It's just like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of view. It's just the kind of thing that just makes you feel lucky. I just feel so lucky to be here and be able to see amazing places like this. I don't take any of it for granted.
Well, obviously we're looking at Loch Ness, and we weren't going to go do the Loch Ness Monster stuff, but I don't even think we're going to mention it. But as you look out at the Loch Ness, oftentimes there's gray skies. The water is really like a gray color. It's not, bright blue or anything like that. And as it moves, you kind of see these dark objects pop out. It's not objects, it's just an illusion of the waves. And I could see it being a tale that you tell children, oh, there's a monster out there. And I think someone took the initiative to Photoshop it, and the legend was born. Of course, the national animal of Scotland is a unicorn. So, there's magic out here.
We're really just getting started on our trip here in Scotland, and the bar is already set so high here at Urquhart Castle. I'm just so excited for what we're going to see next. So right now we're on our way over to Skye, and specifically Portree, and the scenery has completely opened up after leaving Loch Ness, and we're just seeing the true Scottish Highlands. It's just absolutely beautiful. The views around every turn are incredible, and just when we think, wow, it can't get better than this, we come around a bend and it's even more beautiful than before. It's everything that you think it's gonna be, and pictures don't really do it justice, because seeing it in person is just incredible. We're staying here at the Mungstad Luxury Lodge on the Isle of Skye. It is this very cool boutique hotel, which was once the home of Scottish noblemen. Sir Alexander and his wife, Lady Margaret, lived here because their castle was haunted. They decided to stay at Mungstad House, which was kind of their vacation cottage, but obviously it has been well renovated, well taken care of, and the family that owns it now runs it as a hotel and a restaurant. So we're having dinner here, we're having breakfast here, and then we are heading out to explore the area.
Well, we've arrived on the Isle of Skye and we're about to have dinner at the Mungstad Lodge near Yeeg, and we're starting off with some soup. As I always say, I wish you had 4D television so you could smell how good this soup tastes. By the way, it's July and people are wearing coats here because it's in the 50s. So we thought, what a good opportunity to get some soup. So we're starting off with some sweet potato and chili soup. It looks delicious, it smells delicious. That is super rich soup. The chili comes through and gives it some heat, but that sweet potato cuts really nice, and it's a new favorite. Well, our dinner has arrived here at the Mungstad, and this is gonna be one of those beautiful meals we have all year. I got the pan-seared cod with some vegetables on top and roasted potatoes, and I mean, this dish is absolutely beautiful. You see this nice slice of cod in here. I believe it's a white wine sauce. We're gonna get a nice slice of fish there. Run a potato. Maybe you get a little green in there as well. It's full of flavor. It's hearty, but it fits this weather really well. But it's so fresh. I mean, it just, in this setting, I mean, the setting of this place is unreal. And to have a meal like this, it's worth going to what feels like the ends of the earth to get.
I have the seafood risotto, there's mussels, there's scallops. We're just gonna go right in. It's hot. I absolutely love risotto. The fish, so fresh. Oh, here's a shrimp. You can see, I hope you can see the steam coming off. Dinner was absolutely delicious. We're gonna have breakfast here tomorrow morning. Our room is super cute and very cozy. It's a little cold out there, but it is very warm and inviting here at the Mungstad. We had a great stay here at the Mungstad Luxury Lodge. Very cute rooms, very quaint setting, warm and cozy because it's a little bit chilly out here. Our food was amazing. Dinner last night, breakfast this morning has really helped us recharge, reset, because our jet lag has been pretty bad the last few days. But I think now, after staying here, we're ready to get out there and attack the day and really start exploring. So we've just left the Monkstadt house and we are ready to get out and explore the sites here on Skye. There's plenty of spots that we want to hit up, so we are ready to attack the day. It is a little rainy out here today, but that is to be expected because we are on the wet coast of Scotland. Our first stop here is the Fairy Glen. So we're hiking up a little bit here to get a good view of this area that's supposed to be a little mystical and
There's
supposed
actually
to...
no lore.
There's no lore. It just...
It's called Fairy Glen because it looks like they live here.
It's just an area that
makes
looks
sense.
like fairies would live here. It's
Like
very...
sheep live here.
There's sheep everywhere. But it is very green, lush, and beautiful here. Big surprise. I understand why the fairies would live here.
Well, we didn't climb to the top of a mountain. We climbed to the top of a fairy hill. But we feel accomplished. And
we
a
have
nice
some pretty
family photo.
amazing views
yes.
and a nice little family photo.
We just like standing up here because you've got sheep dotting the hills. You got a waterfall over there. You got all these mounds. And I mean, this is as good as it gets right here, I think.
Yeah, it does feel magical.
What do you think, Evie?
Oh, not impressed.
This is the kind of place you can't believe somebody didn't just like design this. It's unbelievable.
It's almost like a painting. We just stepped right inside. We finished up at the Fairy Glen, an absolutely beautiful setting. The sun started to peek out and just was shining down on us in this beautiful place with sheep running free. It really felt like a storybook. Had a great first stop here. There are two different breweries here on Skye, and we stopped into the Isle of Skye Brewing Company and picked up a few tasty beers that we're gonna drink later. Now we are heading over to the Queering, which is another beautiful landscape area here. I mean, it's all gorgeous. Everything we're driving through is absolutely beautiful. Just a few things to note. The roads out here are narrow, and you really have to be mindful of cars coming in the other direction, and you pull off. You have to pull off to let people pass. Also be mindful of sheep. This is their country. This is their land. They are roaming free on the side of the road. So they might be crossing the road. You just have to be prepared for whatever might be coming your way. Also, if you're not from here and you're driving on the other side of the car and the other side of the road, these are just a few more extra obstacles to keep in mind. But absolutely gorgeous day. It's heating up a little bit, and like I said, the sun is poking out. We're kind of in and out of the clouds, in and out of a little bit rainy, wet weather as well. But we are off to a great start here. I also just want to say that we are doing our best when it comes to pronunciation while we're here in Scotland. We do our research and we try to say things properly, but sometimes it's a bit of a challenge for us. So we apologize if we butcher any of the names of the places that we're visiting while we're here.
Well, talk about feeling like you're on top of the world. It's exactly the feeling you get when you're standing here on top of the Queyring. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. And we're just lucky because we've got some blue skies. There's a little bit of rain over there, but all in all, an absolutely beautiful day here.
This is just a gorgeous setting out here. I keep repeating myself like, oh, this is so beautiful, it's so green, it's so lush, but it really is. You have a beautiful view of the water here. And I mean, what I really love is you look down here, you can see the road and you just see these cars winding down and the sheep just grazing below. It's really like the most idyllic setting. The town down here just sleepy. We finished off at Queyring. That was an incredible stop, such a beautiful landscape. We drove down into the valley, down the cliff where we could see from up above, and it's just a beautiful, quaint town below. And now we're gonna make a quick stop off at Kilt Rock. That was our quick stop off at Kilt Rock. It's a beautiful cliff here. You can get a pretty good look at it from the overlook, and it really does look like a kilt. There was also someone there playing bagpipes, which was like the perfect soundtrack to the view as we were looking out. Well, that was a quick drive through Portree. It is rainy and a little bit busy. We are going to continue on to go find lunch. We just stopped off at the co-op and picked up some snacks. We absolutely love popping into the grocery store and getting things that we can't get back home. And I think that chips or crisps taste better here. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, when we get potato chips over here, they taste better than they do back home. I don't know if it's the way they're cooked. I don't know if it's just in my mind, but I really do think they're better here. We also got some cookies because we're cookie monsters. Well, we stopped off at the famous bridge here where everyone runs up the hill. I can't think of the name of it, so I will insert that later. But the midges started getting us, so we are getting out of Dodge. And this here is the second brewery that is on the Isle of Skye. I believe it is pronounced Coolins. If it is wrong, again, I apologize. Oh, but we did have some of their beers last night at Monkset, and they are very good. So yesterday the plan was to go to the Eilean Castle, and we just ran out of time as we were getting over here because we wanted to get to where we were staying. So now we're heading back over there today because we do not want to miss the castle. We were going to stop off for lunch in Portree, but it was very busy. So we're improvising, and we stopped off and got some cake and some tea, and that's going to be our lunch, along with the chips and cookies that we got at the co-op. Is it nutritious?
Are we adulting right?
Not really. Is it delicious? Yes.
Are we responsible for human?
Are we just having fun? Yes. But we've had a fantastic time so far on Skye, and we're now heading to the Eilean Castle. I believe it's like one of the most, if not the most photographed castle here in Scotland, maybe the world. I'm not positive about that, but I think when people think of castles in Scotland, you think of Edinburgh Castle, and then I think you think of the Eilean. I know we've done puzzles, we've seen it on calendars. It's pretty iconic. One of the coolest things about coming to this castle is walking over the bridge to get there. It's set on the water, and so there's only one way in, one way out. Makes a lot of sense if you're trying to keep yourself protected from your enemies. But it makes for a very, very cool stop. I've been looking forward to coming here for a long time. Look at just that setting is just incredible. And again, I just keep saying I feel so lucky that we get the opportunity to come to places like this and travel like this. It's just been such an amazing day on the Isle of Skye. We've just had an absolute blast today.
Well, behind me is the view of the back porch of the Eilean Castle, which we are presently in, and what an incredible spot. I mean, everywhere we go in Scotland keeps getting better. Well, this castle is actually a modern castle. It was rebuilt pretty much 100 years ago. So when you go inside, it's not old-timey like a lot of castles. It's kind of what a castle would look like if it was rebuilt 100 years ago.
They don't let you take pictures inside, so we can't show you what it looked like in there.
But there's no filming or photography in there. And we tend to try and follow those rules if we see them. But you can find those online. But the outside of the castle is really what makes it worth the stop. I mean, the setting of this back porch is absolutely incredible. And when you come around the bridge and you see it, it's pretty cool.
So we've made it to our hotel tonight. We're staying at the Inch in Port Augustus, and we're having dinner here as well. We just put in our order. I am getting, for a starter, the Cullen skink, which is a must-try food here in Scotland. It's a very popular creamy fish soup. I also ordered Scottish salmon. It's like the one thing I haven't had yet. I've had salmon for breakfast, but I haven't had a nice piece of salmon since we've been here. Really looking forward to that. Adam ordered a black garlic gnocchi. We saw it on the menu. We thought that sounded good. And after a long day of exploring out on the Isle of Skye, we are very hungry for our food to come out. Here is the Cullen skink. I love the name. And it looks kind of like a clam chowder. Yes, it is kind of like clam chowder. It's also July, and this is the second night in a row that we have had soup, and really wanted it. It was good. Very creamy. It's just kind of like a light fish flavor. It's not like overpowering at all.
Our dinner has arrived. These plates look absolutely beautiful. The plating expertise we've seen in Scotland has been unreal. And this is a black gnocchi. I've got pureed spinach below, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, and leeks. What I love about dishes like this is I'm not going to find this dish anywhere else in the world. It's a unique dish, and all these ingredients are local. That's insanely good.
Here is my salmon. It is very, very pink. We have mashed potatoes, we have carrots, and then sauce here on the bottom. I'm excited. As I've said, I've not had salmon yet. I've been really looking forward to it. Here we go. Ooh. That is so fresh. That's very, very good. Mashed potatoes, carrots. This also feels a little bit lighter after some of the heavy breakfasts we've had these last few days.
Well, we're at the halfway point of the Scotland road trip, vacation, holiday, as it's called over here.
I feel like it's just getting started, but we have done so much already.
But I mean, we just had a great meal, and we're looking at Loch Ness right now. We had an amazing day exploring the Isle of Skye, and we're really excited about the stuff we have planned coming up the next few days, because these have been planned for a long time, because we planned this before COVID hit, and we're excited that we're finally over here.
So this is
with our
so
little,
pretty much since 2019 we've been waiting for this trip. So this is a pretty big deal. I think that's why I keep saying I'm so lucky that we're here, because we're finally here after waiting for so long.
I think Evelyn just really wanted to make sure she was part of this trip.
Our life has changed a lot since we first planned this trip too.
Very pleasant with the time change and sleeping, and
yes,
not cranky at all.
Grateful that we're all able to be here, and again, we're still doing all the things that we had planned back when we first planned this trip before we had a third. So it's just adding to the adventure, and now the midgies are coming out and attacking us.
Yep, now we gotta go.
The bugs say it's time to go. Today we are exploring the Scottish Highlands.
Well, we're getting our last look at Loch Ness right there, and we're going to be heading out today on a Scottish Highlands adventure. We're going to a Highlands game, which we're very excited about. Also, we might see a train from a famous movie, and more beautiful things, because Scotland is an absolutely beautiful country. Well, we are in the little town of Fort Augustus. It is right at the end of Loch Ness, and the biggest boat is literally, you cannot get bigger than these locks in the canal system is about to go through the lock. Fortunately, you can't stick around and watch it, but it was quite the sight because it's literally bigger than the entire town.
Right now, we are heading up to Mallaig, which is a port town in the Western Highlands. We're going to head up there because we think it's going to be a great spot to get some fish and chips.
Right now I'm walking in Mallaig, that's behind me. We've got one of the giant ferries that goes to the Isle of Skye, I think, behind me. And we're gonna head over into the town and we're going to have a bit of fish and chips. They're very famous for those here. It's one dish we've been holding out on, but I'm excited to get some. The drive up this coast was absolutely beautiful. I think maybe like the coast of Oregon and Washington is what it reminded me of. But you'd think, well, it's on the coast, it's probably decently flat. There's pretty tall little mountains around here and it's very rocky, and it's just, I'm glad we came out into this area of Scotland because, you know, we're in the Highlands. Technically we're still in the Highlands, but you're in the mountainous area, and then you get out to the coast and it just, the topography changes very quickly, and this country just keeps bringing the views. And you know, we're at the halfway point of our trip and we're starting to get sad because we know we're going to be leaving soon. Well, before we grab some fish and chips here in Mallaig, and my apologies if I'm mispronouncing that, we grabbed a raspberry brioche at this bakehouse and we walked by. It smelled amazing. The breads looked in there. Breads looked amazing. Madeline and I said, we're not gonna eat bread today, which has been false because we ate bread at breakfast and now we're eating this. We're gonna save most of this for later, but we wanna try it now. It's beautiful. It looks like a donut, but they kept the bottom and they filled it with goodies. Oh, okay. Well, it's full of filling.
Custard.
Yeah. You're gonna like that. Well, we have the bagpipes playing in the background. We're about to go grab some fish and chips here at the Cornerstone restaurant. I mean...
They just started playing.
Yeah, we're not actually sure where they're coming from. They might just be pumping it through some speakers.
No, there's someone over there playing and people are taking pictures.
Oh.
He's just on this side
This
of the street.
is, I mean, it's like you're here and they
It's
know
real.
what you, yeah.
It's really, it's literally everything you think it's gonna be.
Yeah. Turns out it's a little guy. He's pretty good. We just put our order in here at the Cornerstone restaurant, and Madeline is getting classic fish and chips. It's battered haddock, got the chips and peas as a side, coming with tartar sauce, and we're really excited to have that here. Looking at the ocean here in Scotland, I mean, I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. And I'm getting seafood risotto. Madeline had it the other night and I was pretty jealous, so this looks like a good spot to get it. It's gotta be really fresh because we're right here by the sea and it's got the catch of the day included in it, so we're ready for that to arrive.
Well, our fish and chips has arrived. It is a gigantic, beautiful piece of haddock here. Wow. We have peas, we have chips, tartar sauce. I'm really tempted to just pick the whole piece up and go for it. But I won't because I don't think that's polite table manners. Cut it in half. Ooh, look at that. Beautifully flaky, battered, and steaming hot. It's hot, we're gonna go for it. Incredibly fresh fish, very crunchy, delicious tartar sauce. What more could you want? Oh, it's good. I hope you can hear that crunch. It was crunchy.
Well, I've been waiting for my first bite of fish and chip here in Scotland, and I'm going to go fish and chip. It's generations of people who know how to do it right, and it's hard not to say that this is the perfect fish and chip. Well, I have this beautiful dish. It's seafood risotto, and it's got mussels, the catch of the day, and smoked salmon in here as well. And the plating skills everywhere we've been in Scotland have been off the charts. It just looks absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna get mussel and that fresh seafood right there. It's so fresh, but the risotto, perfectly cooked, very, very savory. Yeah, this is hitting the spot by the sea, that's for sure.
A tremendous stop here in Mallaig at the Cornerstone restaurant to have some fish and chips. A nice seafood lunch here in Scotland, and we are going to then keep exploring this area, and we're going to go to a Highland Games, which is something they said if you can find one, you want to go experience. And we were really lucky that there was one going on the one day a year while we were here. So off to the Highland Games we go.
Well, we've definitely arrived at the Highland Games.
Yes, we have.
This is something that we've been looking forward to our whole trip, and we are beyond excited that we made it here and it was going on while we were going to be here.
And the setting is unreal. I mean, you're looking at the ocean, there's other islands and mountains, and there's a golf course right here. And it's just...
bagpipes.
You could draw it up as a more classic setting, I think.
Wow. This is... sometimes it all comes together.
Well, we are enjoying our first Highland Games so far. We've seen them throw the hammers, we've seen the dancing, we've had a bagpipe show. Now we're getting to the part which I was really looking forward to, which is the tossing of the giant log. There's probably a more technical name for it, but I don't know how you learned that skill, but I'm very impressed by it.
Wait, do you not have to do it? You can do it. Whoa! Yes!
One of the things that you might notice is that there is a Scottish flag flying and a North Carolina flag flying. North Carolina has a lot of immigration from Scotland in colonial times, and there are a lot of Scottish people in North Carolina. So I think that I was walking around, I was like, hey, I think that's North Carolina's flag, and it was. So it's fun to see some of that heritage represented here as well. Also, as per usual, Madeline and I pretty much stuff ourselves, and we're beginning to feel like that's a problem here at the Highland Games, because we're right next to a truck that is serving up some sausages that look and smell absolutely delicious. The line is at least 50 people long, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get one unless the line dies down significantly here. But we did not make a mistake eating the fish and chips, but we should have just gotten one entree and then gotten some food here at the Highland Games. I don't know what we were thinking.
So Adam has become a part of the Highland Games doing the barrel racing, and he's moved on to the next round. He's doing really well, and I have to say, I'm just really impressed with the confidence. He said they were calling for barrel racers. He said, I'll just go see if I can join. And he did. And wow, this is just an absolutely incredible and surprising experience. Oh no, oh no, oh goodness, oh gosh. Woo-hoo. No, no, no. Go, go, go. No, 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 no. No. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Are you okay?
So he came in second. Took a nasty fall there at the end. Well, second place doesn't get a prize.
No, except for falling on your stomach in front of thousands of people.
Well, that, I would say, was an incredibly successful trip to the Highland Games. It was something that we really were looking forward to, and Adam getting out there and getting involved just made the whole thing just an incredible experience. Making memories out here today in an unreal setting in the most amazing way. I'm speechless because that was just so fun. I'm so proud of him. So right now we are driving over to catch a glimpse of the Jacobite steam train on the Glenfinnan Viaduct. And this is the Hogwarts Express, basically. In the movies, when you see the train going over the viaduct with the beautiful mountains behind it, that is what we are going to see today. It's a really popular spot. We are hoping to get a good parking space and get over to see this iconic Harry Potter image. We are here at the Glenfinnan Viaduct, where the Jacobite steam train comes through that you might recognize from Harry Potter, the Hogwarts Express. Unfortunately, the train is not running today because there is a transportation strike ongoing in the UK. So that is a bit of a bummer. That is not happening today, but it is still a very, very cool spot, and it looks familiar. I always say this when we see places that are famous for movies. You always go, I've seen that before. It feels familiar to me. So there is a bit of a hike up to a better viewpoint. So we're heading up there to get a view of the whole viaduct. But from down there, the views are already pretty cool.
Well, even with no train coming by, this is well worth a stop. Hopefully when you come visit, the train is in action, but we can imagine it and watch it for all time in movies.
So over here is the Jacobite Monument, and it's to the soldiers that fought for Bonnie Prince Charlie. It's a major part of Scottish history, and you feel that everywhere when you're out here in the Highlands. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful location.
This lock behind me, also used for Harry Potter, as a backdrop for Hogwarts. Makes sense.
I feel like if I wandered back in there, I'd find Hogwarts. It's a pretty good feeling. Right now we're driving over to Glencoe, and we're just driving along beautiful locks and mountains and in and out of little towns here right along the water. It's just been pretty much constant, beautiful drives while we've been here in Scotland. It's not a surprise, but it has made for a very enjoyable road trip.
We are in the small town of Glencoe, grabbing a very quick pizza takeaway, as they call it here. We're going to go through this beautiful area. Right after that, we're going to find a nice spot and eat some pizza. The minutes melt away when you're exploring here. You're driving all over, kind of doing a road trip. And this seemed like a really good spot to grab something a little quicker and just keep going. And so it's a really nice property, and the staff here is really nice, and I'm actually very much looking forward to pizza, because after pushing those whiskey barrels at the Highland Games today, I worked up a little bit of a hunger. Sometimes you just have to eat pizza in beautiful places. This is a spicy beef and venison pizza with garlic on it. Felt like the Highlands, so it's pretty good. And it's really hitting the spot right now after pushing those whiskey barrels today. We're taking advantage of the fact that the sun stays out till like 10:30 here because we are exploring all day long. We do get tired. This helps.
And things do close down. Like the sun is still up, but things start to close at like 6 o'clock. Well, we are finishing up our day here as we're driving from Glencoe through the national park over to our hotel that we're staying in tonight in Kennicraig. This has been such an incredible day. The sights that we have seen and the places we stopped, the Highland Games, was everything that we were hoping it would be. As amazing as today was, the bar is set very high for the rest of our trip, and we still have so many great things planned. I'm very excited for all the things that we have coming up, especially tomorrow.
We are starting our day in Tarbert, which is a town just about 10 minutes north of the Kennicraig Port Ellen ferry to get to Islay. And we stayed in a hotel here last night, and we got about a 10-minute drive over the ferry, and then we're going to be heading over to Islay, and we're really looking forward to today. This is a cool little port town. I would have liked to explore it a little bit. Unfortunately, we got in very late, and we have to get up and get rolling. Maybe that's the one slight disappointment of our trip so far, is that we haven't really got to explore these little towns very much, because I think that's what makes it unique, is all these little towns have so much character, and we're kind of blowing right by them. We're on the ferry. It's about to push off, and we're ready to get this day started. It's been a long time planning a trip to this island, and I'm looking forward to it happening.
We have gotten off the ferry on Islay, and it dropped us off at Port Askig, so we have to drive down. It's about a half an hour to the Port Ellen area, which is where we're going to find the distilleries that we're hitting up today. The plan is to go to Ardbeg, Lefroy, and Lagavulin. Hopefully we can get them all in. We have a tight schedule, just one day here, but this is a day we've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. So we're very glad to be here and ready to taste some whiskey. We have not had any whiskey yet since we've gotten to Scotland. We were saving it for today. So it is a big and exciting day for us.
Well, the first thing I'm doing here at Lagavulin is heading down to the warehouse to do a tasting with legendary Lagavulin employee Ian MacArthur, and I've been looking forward to this one for years, and I'm excited that I'm finally here and a chance to get to do it.
So give you a warm welcome to Lagavulin. My name is Ian MacArthur and I work here for a wee while. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do the Islay Festival one first. The Islay Festival is 12-year-old, 10 years in the American oak cask and 2 years in virgin oak. Then we will be doing 9-year-old, 12-year-old, 17-year-old and 25-year-old. So in Lagavulin we've got storage space for 7,000 casks. Down in the village down Port Ellen we've got storage space for 6,000. We store a lot in Glasgow area and a lot in the Stirling area. Want to do it? Morning. Carry on.
We'll be there in half an hour. I think I got some of that. Oh. Nice work.
See any good at it?
It's the California.
So the next one we're doing here is only young.
Loving this so far. Getting to see how the whiskey is pulled out of the barrels and hearing Ian talk and tell all the stories. It's been pretty entertaining.
We can recharge it 3 times in the life of the cask, and we can use it for 100 years. Did you all see it?
So how long would you use it in between charring?
Well, what we do is with charring, we can recharge a cask 3 times in the life of the cask. We could be using it 3 times before we do the second char. It depends on the cask. It's the colour of the whiskey that dictates. Today.
Happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday. What's his name? Jason. Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason!
Hey, we don't say happy, we've got to sing him happy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Well, absolutely love the warehouse tasting. I can't say enough great things about it. What an experience. This afternoon I'm going to be coming back and doing a tour of the property, so I'm looking forward to that too. Well, I'm walking up to Lefroy. They only have tastings available right now because they're doing some work on their distillery, so their tours are not active at the moment, but all of these buildings are just so absolutely beautiful that they're worth stopping by just to take a look at the building, because they sit here on this coast of Islay, and you can actually see, I believe, Northern Ireland from here and some of the other Scottish Isles, and it's absolutely stunning. We're here on a beautiful day, and like I said, if you make it to Islay, just coming and seeing these buildings, even if you don't taste anything or do a tour, I think it's totally worth it because of just how beautiful they are. So gonna have a quick old fashioned here at Lefroy. Oh, that is good. What a setting. Just here on this little bay, and I love the way they have the white buildings with the name of the distillery painted on the side. I can't imagine flying into Islay and seeing these distilleries just sitting on the edge. I mean, they're kind of like modern castles in some ways. People trek here from all around the world. There were people from many different countries in our earlier warehouse tasting, and I think that really adds to the experience. Just seeing how this little island, of course it's not that little when you're actually here, but it produces something that people all around the world enjoy, and they want to come here and experience it firsthand, and I think that's pretty cool. Well, the field I'm standing in right now is owned by Lefroy, and on their website you can actually register to have a plot of land here. And if you go and find your plot of land, they'll give you coordinates. I think they'll give you boots. You get a dram of Lefroy. Now, don't quote me on that because I don't know how the rules have changed. people do stick there. You see little flags. So people stick a flag from the country they're from, and so they found their plot. I technically have a plot of leased land here at Lefroy. However, I'm not going to spend time finding it because I think it's a great way to explore the island. However, we have other things we're going to do.
So now it's my turn to do a tasting, and I'm just down the road from Lagavulin at Ardbeg for an old still house and a new still house tasting. I finished up my tasting here at Ardbeg, and you go in the old still house and you taste something that was made in that still house. Then you go into the new still house and we got to taste New Make Spirit, which is basically moonshine straight from the tap. That was very interesting. I could not take video inside the new still house, so most of my video is from the old still house. But overall, it was a very, very cool experience here at Ardbeg.
Because we had been illicit distilling for 200 years beforehand. Now obviously the taxman found us out, so that's kind of thing we were found out. Obviously, kind of you'll see a quite common feature around the island is actually a lot of the distilleries were mainly established in about the 1790, 1800s, kind of early 1800s era. That's when the taxman basically found one and he decided to go through the whole island and find the rest. Mm-hmm. So how it used to be.
Well, these are the ovens they used before 1970 to get the peat flavor in there. It's some peat, and that's where you get all that smoky flavor in this scotch.
This is a very cool room. They have to leave the doors open to let the carbon monoxide out, and birds fly in. So they have an owl here to keep the birds from coming in. But they said it doesn't really work. He hasn't moved the entire time we're here. Probably because he's fake. Well, just an absolutely incredible day at Lagavulin. It's just a place that if this is of any interest to you in your life,
that you have to come one time because it really just lives up to the experience. And we had a beautiful day and just an absolutely wonderful time. Well, there's more to Islay than just whiskey. There's a lot of history on this island as well, and so we're stopping and seeing some of the historic items here after the distilleries have closed. But the setting of this island just keeps getting better. I mean, if you're looking out here, you've got these mountains just undisturbed and cattle grazing. There's a fun fact about the distillery that these are really well-fed cattle here on the island because they get a lot of the mash leftovers. It's protein from the distilleries. And they really look like they're eating quite well. This right here is the Kildalton cross. It's estimated to be 1,300 years old, which is insane for something to stand that long, especially in this climate. Well, tonight we're staying in Balmore. We've got a hotel in town. I believe this is the biggest town on Islay. There's only 3,000 residents in Islay. And so if you're actually gonna come here, you need to book your hotels quite in advance because their lodging options do book up early. We're here at the Lochside Hotel. We're eating at their restaurant, and we have ordered some food that we think is gonna be absolutely tasty. Madalyn is getting local Islay scallops that are going to be covered in garlic butter and served with chips and a salad. So she's getting scallop and chips that are just going to be drenched in garlic butter. I'm going actually a little non-traditional. I'm getting chicken katsu. But Scotland has a lot of influence from other cultures in their food, and so I'm going with chicken katsu, topped with curry, and we are so hungry that we cannot wait for this food to arrive.
This is a huge plate of scallops that just arrived. They look absolutely incredible, pan-seared, covered in garlic butter. I also have a salad, which might not sound that exciting, but I haven't had one in a while, so I'm pretty excited about that. And some chips here. So I'm gonna go straight in on these scallops. They look incredible. Like I said, it's a huge plate of scallops. Oh man, get all of that butter sauce. There's like a balsamic drizzle on the plate. It's giving it a little bit of sweetness. Lots of delicious garlic butter. Perfectly cooked, fresh scallops. They're coming right out of the water, right onto my plate. This is the meal. This is like the perfect meal for this setting. And it's a perfect meal after tasting some whiskey.
So this chicken katsu, I'm gonna cut up. It's fried chicken, topped with curry sauce. There's vegetables on here as well. So we're gonna get one piece there. We're gonna get a little rice. And that looks like a flavorful bite. Chicken's really crunchy. Good curry sauce on there. Not curry that's spicy, but as a nice change up from what I've been eating last week or so. I'm enjoying this dish. You can see the Bowmore Distillery behind me. It's one of the, it feels like it's the only distillery we didn't go to today.
But there's actually quite a few distilleries on the island. I think there's at least 9. There's 3 over by Port Askaig and 3 down by Port Ellen. There's 1 here in Bowmore, and there's a couple over on the west side of the island. There's only 3,000 residents here on Islay, and it just really is incredible the way that this island produces Scotch whiskey. And we're gonna wrap up for today. It's been a tremendous day, but we have some more fun adventures here in Scotland, and we are very much looking forward to continuing exploring this great country. We're starting off our morning here on the other side of Islay at Brooke Lottie, and we're going to pop into their Lottie shop and maybe do a quick little tasting if they have one. And you know, our travel plans have changed a little bit for today, which means we could spend more time on Islay, and we're excited about that. And so this is a really, really beautiful distillery. They've got great teal blue. They sit right on the water. It's a beautiful setting, and we're looking forward to checking this place out.
So we're here at Brooke Lottie, and we just basically had like a mini tasting. And the way that they make whiskey here is so interesting. The guys that owned it, they came from a winemaking background, and so they wanted to look at whiskey and making Scotch like wine. So it has to do with the barley and the different kinds of barley and how that changes the flavor, but also how the different casks would change the flavor as well. And they make a lot of unpeated whiskey, and they also make the most peated whiskey, which I think is fascinating. It's called Octomore. It's over there. We're not trying that today, but maybe sometime. Okay. So this whiskey here is made from ancient barley up from Orkney. It's called bear barley. And it's a little bit spicier, a little kind of a cinnamon flavor. This one I like. It's made with Islay barley, which only really until like recently, like the early 2000s, did they start growing barley successfully on Islay again to make the whiskey here. It's like very, very easy drinking whiskey. I don't drink whiskey all that often, but I could see myself drinking that. So we had a little impromptu tasting here at Brooke Lottie, and I just have to say that the staff here is absolutely incredible, so kind to us and so helpful, and we learned so much from just a quick little tasting right in the shop. I cannot say enough good things. Everything was delicious, and unfortunately we can't take a bottle home with us because we still don't have luggage. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for it in the States, and I did buy a t-shirt. The staff here was absolutely incredible, totally brightened our morning, and we're gonna have a great day here, still exploring Islay.
Well, we are sitting here in the main room of the Kilchoman. It is Islay's Farm Distillery, and it is absolutely stunning around here. The landscape is beautiful, and this distillery, very impressive room. We're actually getting some tea and some cake, and then we're gonna go over, get a drivers to go drum, and then I think Madeline might try a drum as well. So we're loving this facility so far. It's absolutely beautiful.
We've got some tea, we've got some coffee and cake, and we're going to do a little more tasting. So this one here is the Sanig?
Yes.
Sanig. That's how I would say that. A sherry and a bourbon barrel. Okay. Oh, that's tasty. That's good. It's a little bit sweeter. I think that's easy to drink. It's not very peaty, fiery, smoky. That's the word. It's not very smoky. Let's see, is there a peat percentage on here? No, fruit, caramel, cinnamon. I taste all of that. This is a very, very nice distillery. This tasting room area is gorgeous, by the way. Okay, so this one is 100% Islay, which I really liked at Bruichladdich, so let's see. That's nice. I wonder if maybe it's just like knowing that it's grown here, that the barley is grown on Islay, that like mentally I just like it better. But that is very easy to drink, very tasty. This last one, Mahir Bay. I don't know if the C is silent on this. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Lemon zest and vanilla and fruit. It smells good too. Ooh, this one is like more of a full flavor. Wow. I think I might like this one the best, actually.
All right, well, I'm excited for the cake. I have my tea, I have cake, and
It's a carrot cake?
it's a carrot cake, orange cake, and one other item that starts with a C that I'm not familiar with, and I can't remember at the moment. I asked the staff, and by the way, everyone on this island who works at the distilleries is like, they can win a reality show for being the nicest person ever. Fantastic hospitality from every place we've been, just unreal. But I asked the individuals who work there, what is your favorite cake? They said, that's hard to choose because they're all amazing. I believed them, I do. And they settled on this one, and they were right. This is very, very good.
We had a great stop in the Kilhoman, a beautiful tasting room. They had live music. It was incredibly inviting in such a beautiful setting. You're driving up. You can see the barley on each side that they use to make their whiskey, and it was really an unreal setting. Again, a beautiful tasting room, very inviting, and I'm so glad that we ended up there today. The 3 that we visited yesterday were amazing and were worth the trip in themselves, but this has just been such a bonus to be able to visit some of these other distilleries today. And now we are going to head over to Ardnahoe for lunch. We're about to head into Ardnahoe, and this is just a beautiful setting of the water. You can see the island of Jura right across the way. We're here at Ardnahoe in their restaurant called the Illicit Still. We're starting off with an Islay beer. It's called the Big Strand. Little departure from whiskey. And we've already put in our order. We're gonna start off with a potato leek soup, one of my all-time favorite soups. We had to order that. We have a falafel flatbread coming. A little different than some of the things that we've been eating so far, but we just felt like mixing it up. Lastly, we ordered the special today, which is a barbecue pulled pork sandwich. Adam absolutely loves barbecue. We saw that on the menu and thought, let's go for it. Big chunks of potato and leek here in this soup. It is seriously one of my all-time favorite soups. I'm afraid it's gonna be very hot. Let's go for it. That's very good. We've eaten a lot of soup on this trip, and I'm not complaining. It's very good.
Well, I've been gone from my home in the United States for a week, and I finally got back to eating some barbecue, and I'm very excited to try it here in this beautiful setting. By the way, of the views you can get when you eat a meal, Ardnahoe has to have one of the best views in the entire world. You see the Isle of Jura, and
We have the most picture perfect day. I think it's around 70 degrees, barely any clouds in the sky, the sun is out, and we are just having a terrific time exploring this island today. And fun party meals like this just add to it. Very good pretzel bun, it's so fluffy. The pulled pork has nice barbecue sauce on it. And then I also love the potatoes here. There's one thing that they do really well in the British Isles. I think it's their chips. These are wedges. They always seem to be a little bit smaller, a little bit crispier. Big fan of how they do potatoes over here.
This is my falafel wrap. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not sure what all is in there, but it all looks tasty. We absolutely love falafel. There's a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of heat, and it's just kind of a nice departure to mix it up a little bit. We've had so many amazing meals here in Scotland so far, but sometimes you just want to try something a little different.
Right off the back porch here at Ardinho, the restaurant, and this is as good as it gets in terms of a view for lunch. It was absolutely spectacular. Good food, beautiful facility, and we are loving exploring this island. I think we've got a couple more things we're going to try and do today, so we want to see what Isla has for us next, because it's been pretty good so far.
We finished up our lunch at Ardnahoe, and what a beautiful setting it is. Their restaurant looking out on the water. It's really just, we keep saying, oh, the setting is unreal, but each one really is in its own way very unique and just absolutely beautiful. But we have one more stop we're gonna make. We're heading over to Bunnahabhain. We're here at our final whiskey stop, and that is Bunnahabhain. It's another incredible setting. We're right here on the water. There's a beach down below and mountains behind me. You really cannot beat any of these views that we've had today. It's just been absolutely incredible. I have to say, being on Isla these last 2 days, I have learned so much about Scotch, and I have a greater appreciation for the drink. I've learned peated, unpeated, either bourbon barrels or sherry barrels, and where the grains come from and how that affects the flavor. It's just really opened up my eyes to the world of Scotch in a way that I should have known would happen, but I'm just so impressed with everything we've done here the last 2 days. You have to come here to appreciate it, because it is just such a unique place. Like I said, every single distillery has an incredible setting. They're all making incredible products, and I'm just, fate had it that we needed to spend a little more time here, and I'm very, very glad that that was the case. Also, gorgeous weather. I thought it was going to be cold while we were here, and the sun has been shining. Beautiful, warm weather. The beach is down there. There's people out in the water. It's probably the high 60s, and it's just a beautiful summer day. And here I have a nice unpeated Bunnahabhain whiskey. That's very nice. I appreciate the peat and the smoke, but it is just a little bit easier to drink the unpeated. And that's something I've learned here on Isla. Well, we're heading out of Bunnahabhain, and Really just an amazing day here on Isla. We're gonna head over to the ferry in a minute, but each of these distilleries that we've visited have all been amazing. Beautiful scenery, each one unique. We've had amazing experiences at each one, and I have to say, I think we're a little sad to leave. Today is a beautiful day in Edinburgh, and we're gonna do some more exploring. We're gonna head over to the Britannia and see what the Royal Yacht has to offer. And then after that, we are going to get some lunch and keep exploring this great city. Well, right now we are aboard the Royal Yacht Britannia. Very cool so far. Get to walk through all the different decks. There's elevators to each floor, which is also nice. Fun to see how the Queen lives when she's at sea. You can really see how this is less of a ship and more of like her home away from home. It is very, very comfortable accommodations. Here we are in the tea room, and you can have afternoon tea here on the Royal Yacht. So we've decided to pop in and have some tea and coffee here in the tea room. I ordered a latte, Adam got tea, and we have a scone coming, or scone, depending on where you're from. And I have to say, it feels like I'm basically having tea with the Queen.
Here we go. Scone on the Queen's boat.
We actually got our tickets to the Britannia for free because it was included in our stay at the Fingal. So just another little bonus to stay at the Fingal. You get to sleep on a ship and then come explore one. Well, we are finishing up here at the Royal Yacht Britannia. We're gonna keep rolling here in Edinburgh.
We are in the Leith neighborhood of Edinburgh, and we are heading over to grab some lunch at a spot called Fisher's. It's a local seafood spot. You know, the seafood here in Scotland has been absolutely fantastic, and Leith is a very cool kind of port area of the city. There's a lot of old kind of historic architecture, but then there's also a lot of new construction down here, so you're blending that old with the new. It's really a fantastic neighborhood. Also, it's a perfect 70-degree sunny day, so I'm quite the fan of this area. And we're gonna grab lunch. We might head over to a brewery as well, and we're gonna soak up every last minute of this beautiful city that we can, because we really enjoyed it.
Well, we're here at Fisher's and we just put in our order. I'm getting a whole lemon sole. but it's served with potatoes, and that sole is going to be topped with a caramelized garlic butter. I saw it come out already. It looked absolutely delicious, and I just had to order it. Madalyn is getting fish cakes. We're sitting right here by the port. This neighborhood is absolutely beautiful. The old buildings, the ships, and here comes our food. Look at that butter. I mean, oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. And we're going to
There you go.
pull that meat away. Look at that beautiful fish. My goodness. Holy cow, it is so fresh. It feels like it was in the sea yesterday, and sitting out here on this beautiful day, right by all these boats. I mean, this is just the absolute perfect meal. Do a little potato with it.
Okay, I have the fish cakes here. We're gonna do it up with some lemon. I have had many different iterations of fish on this trip so far. I've yet to have a fish cake. Very crispy on the outside, warm, tender on the inside, delicious sauce, fresh fish, seagulls overhead. They would probably love this meal. Probably doesn't get much better than this.
Well, we flipped the fish over, and there's a backside that has just been sitting in this butter for about 10 minutes now, and just look at that. Look at that fish. Unbelievable. That is decadent right there. Actually, that's just butter. That is decadent. Well, I'm sitting here at Moonwake Brewery. I got their Kolsch beer, and it's very refreshing. And I think when you come to Scotland, you definitely want to drink the Scotch. But they really have a great beer scene too. All the beers we've had here in Scotland have been tremendous, and it's such a nice day. We're sitting outside on their street patio. Really colorful brewery, and enjoy it so far. Well, Edinburgh, the food is fantastic, the city is great, it's very lively, wonderful people, and we can't wait to get back. We're in Glasgow, and tonight we're going to do a bit of a food tour. But we've been eating Scottish food all week, so we're going to try some food from different cultures, because as much as we love the Scottish food, we're ready to mix it up a little bit. We are starting off here at Donner House. It's actually a German spot, and they have kebabs. They're kind of like German gyros. So we're getting ours that's got half Donner, half chicken shawarma, and there's a hot sauce that comes with that. And then we're also getting mini chicken schnitzels. Madeline and I are pumped about this. We're absolutely starving.
So these kind of look like chicken nuggets, but they are chicken schnitzel, like mini chicken schnitzel bites. So it is kind of like a fancy chicken nugget. And dip it in sauce. Perfectly crispy. And a really nice sauce here.
Well, this is the main event. This is our kebab, and it is on a German bread that is covered with sesame on the outside. It's a very fluffy bread, but it is not a German pita because I asked. There is actually German pitas. So it's kind of like a sourdough bread bowl with chicken shawarma and similar to Euro meat stuffed in it. And then we also have this hot sauce. We're gonna put a little bit on there, right there. I've had a lot of sandwiches on bread. I don't know if I've ever had a sandwich in a bread bowl before. That's why I enjoy traveling, because I find new things. To quote Ron Swanson, this is a whole new meat delivery system. Well, the first spot, Donner House, absolutely knocked it out of the park. I love the kebab. I'm probably saying that terribly, but yes, was it meat between two breads and is that a sandwich? Absolutely. But I've never had a sandwich like that before, and it was really, really good. Our food has arrived here at Chaku, and it looks absolutely delicious. Now, all their food comes out tapas style, so they're smaller plates. So we ordered like 5 or 6 different items, and we're gonna share it all. First item we've got here is the smoked chicken tikka. It comes with a homemade mint chutney, and I absolutely love it when food is colorful, and this food is very colorful. We have here lemon rice. This is the butter chicken. That is Madalyn's favorite dish when it comes to Indian cuisine. This is chicken tikka masala, which is my favorite dish when it comes to Indian cuisine. These are sheet kebabs. They are marinated lamb kebabs, and we have that mint sauce again to dip those in. And these are lamb samosas, and that's what I'm gonna go with first. We're just gonna rip that open. Look at that ground lamb with peas in there. Oh my goodness. This crust is so very, very flaky. I'm gonna dip it in the sauce. Well, this lamb samosa is one heck of a way to start our meal here at Chaku. It is minced ground lamb with peas in there. It is so savory. And I don't even know what the sauce is. I don't care because it's absolutely delicious. If I had a plate of 40 of these, I could eat 40 of them. That's not even up for debate. So we're gonna go for my favorite dish. We're gonna take a little bit of this lemon rice, scoop that right on there. We're gonna go chicken tikka masala right here. And I forgot to mention, this might even be the star of the show right here. Garlic naan. Smells so good. I wish your television or phone or whatever device you're watching this on had 4D so you could smell this delicious, delicious naan. Before we even take a bite, we're just gonna dip it right in that sauce. Chicken is so tender. The sauce brings some heat, but it's not overly hot, and it has really, really good spice flavor. They're 3 for 3 so far on everything I've tried.
I have to say, this place is packed tonight, which I think is some indication of how good it is. We're gonna go with some rice. We're going in on butter chicken. Ooh.
It's a big hunk of chicken.
It's a huge pieces of chicken in here. Oh my goodness. Wow. I just want some more of that extra sauce on top here. Then let's go straight in. Like Adam said, everything here is very colorful. It looks amazing. It all smells great. Oh, I'm excited for this. Oh, that's so good. A little bit of heat, not overpowering. Also a little bit of sweetness. The chicken is so tender. And the lemon rice is just bringing it all together. Oh yeah. Oh, that's very good. I know we're supposed to share, it's tapas, but no, I think this might just be mine. It's the lamb kebab. It's going in. I'm just gonna eat with my fingers. Wow. Every bite full of flavor. I love this mint sauce. Wow. This is bringing the heat a little bit, I won't lie. But it is, I love the char on the outside. Absolutely delicious.
You know, for small plates, these kicked our butts. Huge portions for small plates. We can't even finish it. We don't say that very often. But we are definitely taking it to go because it was absolutely phenomenal and one of the best Indian meals we've ever had. We are off and walking this morning in Glasgow, and we are stopping at a spot for breakfast. You can call it breakfast, but we're gonna get some donuts at a spot called Tantrum Donuts. Took one look at the picture of their donuts and said, that's where we're going for breakfast. And Madeline agreed, so.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say no to donuts.
So, off to donuts we go.
We're starting off our day in Glasgow at Tantrum Donuts. We've got some coffee and tea and then some beautiful donuts. This is the Chocolate Millionaire. It has chocolate and caramel cream. And then this is a creme brulee donut, which looks amazing. It's got some hard sugar on top. I think they must have taken a blowtorch to it. They look beautiful. Chocolate cream in the middle, super fluffy donut, has rolled in sugar on the outside, and then these are like little crunchy candy, like sprinkles on top. Wow. Oh, that's what we get further in there. There's some like caramel sugar in there too. Woo. Wow, that is delicious. I think I'm starting my day the right way here in Glasgow.
Well, I went with the creme brulee donut. They said it was their bestseller, and one look at it and you can see why. Obviously, we've got the caramelized top there, and it's a heavy donut too. All right, let's go. Custard's tasty, and that sugar on top breaks, and it's just so tasty.
Wow, these are very filled donuts.
It's one of the better donuts I've ever had. We eat a lot of donuts.
Adam's right. These are some of the tastiest donuts we've ever had. And they're really more like dessert. It's almost too much. But can you ever have enough chocolate? I mean, they call us the Millionaire, and I think it's $1 million donut.
The next food spot we're heading to here in Glasgow is a pizza spot. It's called Paisano's Pizza, and it is actually the first spot in Glasgow that brought Neapolitan style pizza to the area. Seems to be a pretty popular spot. and we are hungry as per usual. So we're gonna go grab some pizza. Well, we put in our order here at Pisano. We're getting one Tuscan fennel sausage pizza with sugo, and we're also getting one with spicy salami. Seeing the pizzas come out, they look fantastic. We're hungry, we're both getting our own pizza, and I think we're both gonna finish our pizza because we are that hungry. Our pizzas have arrived. They came out super fast, literally in like 5 or 6 minutes, and they look absolutely beautiful. They're big pizzas, but they're super thin. You can see how thin that crust is.
Yeah.
We're gonna go right here on this sausage pizza. Some pizza fans may not be a fan of that droop, but this is a really good crust. Great ingredients, and we're off to a good start here at Pisano.
I'd say this is a very impressive operation here. The kitchen is open, you can see all the ovens going, and they are just churning out these pizzas so fast. I'll stop talking, I'm gonna dig in. Like Adam said, super thin crust. Ooh, I'm losing some of the pepperoni. Oh, that's good. Delicious sauce. The salami has a heat to it. Absolutely delicious. Love the cheese. I was really intimidated when these came out because they're huge, but we might be able to make a pretty good dent here because the crust is so thin.
Pisano's pizza was absolutely delicious, as were all our food stops here in Glasgow. We didn't really get to explore the city that much. We only had a day here. We didn't leave the central area. But I feel like this city has a lot more to offer, and we're looking forward to coming back in the future and seeing more of the city.
If you want to see more from our adventures in Scotland, click right here. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.